We're live on the audio, getting rid of the starting soon message. And people should be able to see us. Hello, people! Hi. My name's Casey. We're streaming on 20 Sides to Every Story. We're going to be playing some D&D 5th edition, and we are working our way through Tyranny of Dragons. The party, at the moment, is in amongst a caravan heading north along the coastway. They're not sure how far north they're going to be traveling, because part of that depends on how far this caravan goes and where they can find the cultists and the loot. And I'm seeing my image is a little bit staggery. I'll see if I can figure out what's going on there. But in the meanwhile, the characters know that there are cultists in amongst those traveling in the caravan, and I believe the characters have caught on that the cultists are aware they're there as well. Thinking back on things that have happened... Sorry, you can shut the door. Thinking back on things that have happened, I just got squirted in the face with a squirt bottle for being too loud and not shutting the door. So...
Bad kitty.
That's my bird.
That is exactly what those squirt bottles are for. They're for training the cats. And I just got hit for not shutting the door and talking loud. So that's where I rank in the family. I get corrected more often than the cats do. But thinking back on some of the things that the characters have done, the characters did work to rescue the townsfolk of Greenest, doing so by negotiating them into a hostage situation with the cult. So the townsfolk of Greenest, some of which have perhaps turned to the cult, did get a good look at the characters. The characters also dueled with Cyanrath, or at least a few of them did, and they got a look at them there. The characters also made their way into and infiltrated the cultists' hideout. They didn't really give themselves away too much during that event, but at the very end, in order to get out, they talked their way out past a whole crew of kobolds who got a very good look at them after they defeated Cyanrath and Cyanrath's Berserker assistants. So a fairly decent description of the characters are available to the cultists, and it seems that several images of them have been circulated around, sketches done out on small squares of parchment. And that's where we're going to kind of pick back up with that knowledge in play. And I have given...
Thanks for the gems, man!
Thanks for the gems. I have given the characters a little bit to think about and talk about as they work their way through their introductions. We are a player short at the moment. They will be joining us shortly. But what we're going to say is that Yaz was not able to break away from their duties to join in the conversation as everybody's getting things going. There's only a little bit of privacy available as the caravans are moving along. And... they don't want to look too suspicious as they meet up and have this conversation. So as soon as Yaz can join in, they will. But I've given the characters a little bit to think about. Now, as they start to introduce themselves and share some of the information that they've picked up over the last 4 or 5 days of travel. So they did set out from Baldur's Gate. We did on screen about a day's worth of travel. Another 4 or 5 days have gone by, and the caravan has made its way up to the the hype train already. Well done, folks. The caravan has made its way up to the Troll Claws, a series of small hills and sunken-in areas where the Serpent's Tail stream cuts through and becomes the winding water before dumping into the Sea of Sorrows. There are hills there are swamps there, a lot of broken land. It slows the caravan down a good deal, and this is one of those areas that's a little bit dangerous because the caravans can't see as far ahead, and therefore hobgoblin raiders, trolls wandering out of the troll bark forests and the troll hills, as well as some of the dangers from away to the east, the Forest of Worms, the Serpent Hill, the High Moor itself, and of course the Fields of the Dead that you are just finishing making your way through. All these wonderfully named places, just, you know, inviting tourists. But that's where we'll be kicking off. As the party gathers together, I'll ask you just to do a quick introduction of yourself, and we'll kind of just go down the list, who your character is, and a little bit about what they look like, and then we will dive into sharing some of the information that you've gathered along the way. Who would like to go first on the introductions?
I will.
Okay. Fire away. Show.
Hi, I'm Ed. I play Sholara. Sholara. Now I'm mispronouncing it.
See, it's hard.
Sholara is a very tall half-orc woman, nearly 7 feet tall, and blue-skinned with undercut hair and a bit of a mohawk. She is currently wearing a very basic tunic and pants, but is carrying a great sword in the maul as well as a shield, and has a warhammer at her side, very heavily armed. And she is walking close to a cart full of porcelain goods, where she has been hired on as captain of the guard for this cart.
Sounds good. Do we have a volunteer next up?
Sure, I'll go. Hi, I'm Isaac. I play Chiquito. He's a Warforged druid. He has a bit of some twigs kind of growing throughout his body as he seems to be getting a little bit stronger with nature. He's been picking up a little bit more wood and replacing some of those old metal parts, kind of shaping it his kind of new exterior as he goes along. He'll currently be kind of making his way, kind of just circling around. He's talked here and there, but he's kind of staying on the outskirts of the group at the moment.
Sounds good.
I can go next.
You got it, Andrin.
So I'm Maureen, and I am playing Andrin. And like Sho, I am a barbarian, however, not nearly as striking or as tall, actually, or as friendly, or as socially adept.
I'm saying something.
So, Anrin is a wild elf, a wood elf, and as she would say, an only true elf. And all of her assumptions about the rightness of her way of life, her pride in her own people, and the reflexive disdain that the wild elves are known for showing to anybody or anything that isn't a wild elf, are all starting to come under severe pressure because she is definitely bonded with the group, and is particularly surprised by the fact that she seems to feel most comfortable and at home with Chiquito, who is not only not elven, but not really organic. So
it's wood.
That's where she's at. She's also walking beside.
I'm getting there.
Getting more organic all the time.
Getting more organic all the time.
I'm a real boy.
Rob?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Paul, and yeah, I play Rob Oakes. I'm a sort of a traveling troubadour type character. I am medium size. Got dark curly hair. Wear a big hat with a feather in it. Sort of scarves and all kinds of accoutrement, just because you gotta flash, you gotta show something, you gotta give the people a little bit of what they want, a little taste. Then I've got panpipes on a brace that I play while I play my lute. And I've been hanging out with this crew for a little while. We've gotten into a spot of trouble and kind of want to see it through. Yeah, I mean, I would like to point out that Rob has a complete pair of pants on.
I mean, that is important.
First time in 3 games that we started out with a full pair of pants.
I'm not sure you want to advertise that your pants are full, but I mean, that's totally up to you.
Also could be true, however you want to take that idiom. Like, when we talk about... No, I'm not going to start that.
Yes, that's true. We do have to wait till Yaz gets here to explain all of our idioms
Yeah.
to us. Chiquito, you were referenced and now I've forgotten. Have you done your intro yet?
I sure have.
Okay, thank you. I remember we were talking about you and then I'm like, no, he already introed. Okay, good. Thank you. With that, I'm actually going to just turn it right back over to you all to talk about some of the things that have been revealed to you. Now, these are things that you've picked up over the last 4 or 5 days of travel, during which there have been a couple of incidents, the normal things that happen when you're on the road in the type of world that you are in. Some undead were found wandering around. They were dispatched fairly quickly. Everyone was called to attention. They were taken down at a distance by arrows by the group that was in charge at the time. It's a fairly large caravan, and there are personal guards as well as the caravan guards. Folks tend to draw lots in the morning to figure out who's going to be responding to whatever incidents come up. And the responsibility really is go check it out, make sure it's not going to be a problem for the caravan, and then deal with it however you like, and then come back safely. So your lots haven't really come up yet. There's enough of you here that that's not unusual, but sometime over the next few days or weeks, your lots are probably going to come up and you're going to end up having to deal with some of the things. There's been a few horses that broke away and had to be chased down. There's been some animals that were getting a little too close, stalking the caravan. There's been some bandits that were run off, but they were quite a distance away. Yaz will be joining us in just a little bit. Yaz is currently talking with their good friend Lasfelro, who is a little bit bipolar, I guess, and couldn't tear away, but will be here very soon. So, knowing that Yaz will be joining you shortly, is there anything that you wanted to start talking about right off the bat?
I'm bored. This is boring. This trip has just not been as exciting as anything that we've done before. Why are we with the caravan again?
I'm teaching birds how to sing. I mean, that's some real folklore shit right there. I mean, like, I am literally teaching the birds how to sing. Like, on the day that they were born, the angels got together and taught them how to sing this song.
Are you the angel in this story?
Well, you know, it's more of a metaphor or an idiom, but yeah.
Okay.
What song are you teaching them?
I'm teaching them a song called Superstar.
Everybody must get stoned.
To birds. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I should be teaching them turn, turn, turn. And I'm working on the harmony too. You know, to everything there is a season, and then these other birds go turn, turn, turn. It's awesome. I'm thinking we should call them the birds.
Well, I at least have been able to use the time that I have to learn how to walk better in these strange clothes, and
yeah, you look like you're walking normal ish. I mean, like normal for the people who live here, not where you come from. I no offense. That's sorry. I'll just shut up now.
No, I understood you. The sort of rolling walk was very different from walking on the tips of my toes most of the time, and certainly made carrying the glaive a little bit difficult. It's been quite interesting having these conversations with the people who have been on this road for a while.
Yeah, you were talking to somebody for a long time the other day. It was a dwarven woman, I think.
Yeah, she's very knowledgeable and very. I think she would be a good part of our group if she were ever asked to join. But I don't think that she'd want to join. Just too bad, because she really does take very close attention. So she's kind of puzzled by the entire group. We're apparently not acting, not us.
Oh.
The wagon train's not acting normal. There's some strangenesses there.
This is true.
What do you mean? What kind of? How are they
Strange?
acting a bit strange?
For one thing, they apparently are not paying enough attention to the skies, given the fact that, you know, there have been dragon sightings. And they seem to be very interested in porcelain.
Well, that can't be good, right? Because aren't you guys garden porcelain?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good tip. Thanks, Aaron.
In what way do they seem interested?
It might be the porcelain.
Hmm.
She knows the trader. He seems to be kind of regarded as a bit of a clown, but they're also paying attention to us in a way that seems to be a little bit odd to her. She wondered if we'd possibly managed to upset somebody along the way, especially from the south.
Did you set her on a different trail, or let her know where we're at, or say anything?
I don't see who we could possibly have upset. Everybody that we interacted with is primarily dead, but maybe.
There were
There were an awful lot of cultists who were not dead.
That's true, they left.
And we know that several of them are here.
We know they're circulating pictures of Yaz and I too. Probably you guys, for all we know.
Yeah, actually, I was shown a picture the other night myself.
Oh no.
It didn't have the eyebrows, but still,
Was it good? Was it a good picture?
it looked just like me. I didn't know I looked that good. But they gave me fangs. I don't have fangs. Why they
Not
put
all the
fangs on
time.
it? Well, when I try not
Fangs.
to, I don't. But either way, they actually. Speaking of that, I mean, I was told by that. There was a gnome fellow I was talking to. He makes these really fun games to play in where you spend all your money and lose it, most of it. It's a blast. Either way, he was telling me that you know, there's quite a bit of gold, I guess, on our heads, and even more so, we might be careful. He said that he promised
And
me.
right as you get to about that point in your conversation, you hear someone bellowing from up in the front, calling you forward by name. Anrin, they're calling out, Anrin, get your crew! Your lot's up and something's up.
Finally, at least I'm not going to be bored for the rest of the night. You guys
Well,
ready?
I'm not part of Anrin's crew, but I'm gonna want to go. I'm gonna check in with Oil. Is that his name?
Oin? Yep.
See if I can just piggyback on with him. Oin.
Yep.
Sorry.
And Oin just sort of waves you on. You've been doing you've been enthusiastically assisting with the education of the birds. So
Yeah, when I come back, we'll work on the second bridge. I'll be back. It'll be good. All right.
So you're being called towards the front of the caravan. It does take a couple of minutes, to double time it up, but you can see that they've started to slow down. Up ahead, in the center of the road, there's a bit of a lump, about half a foot or maybe up to a foot, sticking up in the middle of the road, round like a watermelon. Still a ways ahead. But they're calling you forward like, hey, run up ahead and figure out what that is. Oop, can't hear you.
What time of day is it?
So it is into the middle of the morning. So you've been on the road for at least an hour or so. Everyone's well underway. Even the ones who were stuck in the mud and that sort of thing have freed up and are now in progress. So a bit before noon, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock-ish.
Well, oh, I'm assuming that we'll go ahead and take a look at what is there. I don't recognize the shape. Do any of you recognize the shape?
Not particularly.
No.
Who has the dragon eye?
Oh, good call. Good call, Chiquito. Who's got that?
I think you do.
Probably Yaz.
Where the hell is this?
I don't
No, the last person to use it was Chiquito.
know. She's
Oh.
with Fruity McSad Pants. I don't know. We're gonna have to
Was it?
get her.
Was I the last one to use it?
You might have been. Yeah.
He's gonna check.
Okay, you pat amongst yourself. We'll say you can find it.
Yeah, okay. I was afraid I might have lost it in that game. I guess not. We're okay. Here you
Bet that
go.
in the game.
I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. It's fun though to lose money. You should try it sometime. It's a blast.
But no, I have. Amazing.
It's so rewarding just to give your money to those people.
So, Chiquito, are you taking it out and checking things out?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception at advantage, please.
All right. Here we go. Perception.
That's pretty good. So you're kind of focusing, and it takes a little bit of time to sort of sort it out. You're like, oh, that is a humanoid head severed and stood up in the middle of the road up there. You can see the hair moving slightly. You can see the shadows of where the eyes, nose bump would be. You're still at a distance that you can't make out features, but yeah, that's a head. There's a head in the road.
Big head?
Yep, head in the road.
Human-sized.
Human-sized head in the road. Looks like it's sticking up. I really can't get much feature. We might
My
have to
first
close.
thought was to say, I bet it's Leosin.
That was my first thought too.
Mine too.
That was my thought. Because that
I'm-
fool would do something to get himself killed in the middle of the road. Look, we shouldn't just go and walk up and touch it. That's how people
Maybe-
get caught in traps by.
Should
Ewoks.
maybe I take a look around? Maybe around before we go forward. Look at it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can I
somebody-
kind of like check out the
Sure.
surrounding area before we move forward?
Absolutely. And based on the process that the other groups have had when they get called up, you want to get out there, you want to figure it out, and you don't want to be the one that makes the procession stop or even slow down too much unnecessarily. So you don't have to be brave, but keep in mind there's a long train of wagons coming up, and if they have to stop all those horses, then get them started again, they don't like that. But you got a little bit of time. We'll say probably 5 to 10 minutes before you're going to have to make them all be inconvenienced by what you're up to.
Okay.
All right. So you've got the road, and you've got a little bit of grassland, shrub, and that sort of thing on either side. At this point, you're kind of working your way through some hilly areas. So there's a couple of little trees and such things. Describe to me which way you're making your approach, and as you do, I'm going to throw us over to a roadway here. You're probably going to recognize it, but we're going to get rid of the boats in just a second. No boats this time. And there's no river off to the side there. Yas could be off playing in a puddle. We'll say that you're heading from south to north. Doing in there, buddy. You're not supposed to be there. And, you know what? You are under the suspicion that it might be Leosin. So we'll use a Leosin-looking head out there, even though that has not been confirmed yet.
I knew it.
Not confirmed. That is all supposition at this point. But somewhere off in the distance is a head lying on the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
With
could just go kick it off the road.
Leosin first. That's what y'all think it is.
Well, I'm just going to go kick it off the road.
Okay.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
What was
Somebody
that?
cover show. Like if she's gonna do that, like I'm gonna go to the side and draw a bow, and I'm gonna have cover it.
Let me just see if I see anybody on the side of the road first before you go kick that
Oh, I
head.
thought you had done that.
I guess there's not. Everything looks clear, I guess.
Everything looks clear. It's just the head
Okay.
on the road. As you're coming up, you can see that there are some wagon tracks, and they pass to either side. So some of the folks that are traveling ahead have driven past this head in the road. As you move a bit closer, you can see that there's no blood, there's no body parts laying around it, and in fact, the road itself seems to be churned up right around it. This might actually be a person buried with just their head above the roadway.
Still super dead.
You'd have to get a little closer, I think.
Well, I'll go up and take a look.
You get up there and take a look.
Cover.
You can see that they are definitely suffering from exposure. It looks like they've probably been kicked by one or two horses, or at least clipped by a wagon wheel that's gone by, but they do appear to be alive.
Chiquito, do you have a good berry?
Sure do.
Do now.
And
Yep.
as you get a little bit closer and you start to think about doing the good berry, maybe getting a berry in the mouth, you can see written across their forehead in some sort of ink that's dried on there is the word Oathbreaker.
Oh no.
Huh.
I don't know.
Oh no.
I'm not sure
and
what
what-
that means.
What do they look
I mean,
like?
I know what it means literally.
No, but I think it means that it's one of the people from the town that said they would help and then they didn't, or that they would, owe the.
Does this person look familiar at all?
So you're looking over the face. No, you wouldn't think that they would be any of the locals from Greenest. They have a paler complexion and sort of the heavier set features of some of the folks from the north. You don't remember anyone looking like that in the Greenest area, at least no one that stood out to you.
Well, do we know? Does this have any significance?
I'm going to ask him something. Can he talk?
So you apply. It's a him. It's a male. You apply the goodberry to rouse him about, and that seems to improve him a bit. But he tries to get any sort of breath in, but the weight of the earth on him prevents him from doing any more than just little gaspy in and outs. He's barely conscious. You'd probably need to dig him out to get any sort of conversation out of him.
Well, I do have a shovel.
I do have a badger, and that's me.
That is
Well,
true.
that's probably faster than my shovel.
Okay, here I go.
Diddly 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 diddly.
Roar.
All
She
right.
talked about how fast the giant badger can dig on Dungeon Cast this week.
Oh really?
Did they really?
Yeah.
So the individual in question is not Leosin. So that first deduction is not correct.
It's only a matter of time.
As the badger starts doing a bit of digging, unfortunately, Badger, the roadway is very hard packed. Many horses, many carts have traveled over, so the digging is very difficult. It's going to take you, you would guess, somewhere in the neighborhood of an hour or two to dig down enough to get this fellow out without injuring him further.
Yep.
Okay.
Can we just loosen it and we could pull him out?
He is in there deep, and it looks like they may have added a bit of nastiness to the mix to make him go in there. So you're going to be working at him for a while to get him out of there. But that's going to be a little while in the future. At the moment, though, the wagons are starting to approach. Are you giving them the all
wave them
clear?
along the side.
Got it.
Seems, I mean, wagons have gone around him before.
That doesn't mean anything. He could be a distraction. I'm going to go ahead.
Distracting me?
I get what you're saying, Amron. Maybe if you want to take the left side of the road, I'll take the right side.
I think I will. And I'm going to step off, go over here to this side of the road, and off the map, apparently.
So you both spread out a little bit to the sides to keep an eye on what's going on. You got the badger digging away, and the buried man just looks in pain the whole time. There's a lot of pressure, and badger, as you're digging down, you can see there is a lot of damage, a lot of bruising, a lot of breaks, very much in bad shape. As the caravan sort of catches up and starts passing by, not a lot of them offering sympathy. They seem to take the declaration of an oathbreaker and that he's been buried out here in the road of the tradeway as proof of his wrongdoing. There's spitting happening, there's cursing, there's warding signs being made. No one moves to stop you, but this doesn't seem like a popular decision that you've made.
I'm good with that.
I don't
Okay.
care.
I mean,
All right.
Good.
Good.
Do know, from the conversations with my friend that the oaths of the road are taken really seriously, but I'd like to know what he did.
Oh, different oath than I was thinking of, God.
Okay. Caravans continue on, and eventually you do manage to get him extracted to the point where he can get a little bit of breath in. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. My name's Carlin. I appreciate your mercy.
What,
No, it's mercy.
what oath did you break?
And he's sort of still like mostly trapped in there, and like, I gave oath that I would marry a young woman. Unfortunately, I was unaware that she, her brothers, and her father practiced banditry. They expected that I would join in with their profession. When I refused, they labeled me an oathbreaker and buried me here. It is true I did give oath, but I don't regret my decision. Just the pain. And the horse hooves.
Do we believe this?
And you've got him about halfway out at this point, so I'll say he's just to the point where he's getting his arms free.
Strange story.
If he's getting fairly, like if the ground is loosened up, I'd get behind him and put my arms under his arms and just try to pull him out.
And you try and give a bit of a pull, and he starts screaming. With the pressure on his feet and his legs, the damage that's been done, it's gonna hurt him a lot more unless you really clear away, all this dirt that's been packed down.
Okay.
yeah, I'll continue to dig.
I'm anxious. I am not certain what to do at this point. I worry we're being left behind by the caravan, and we are now out here in the road as a target for
I'm not
anything that
concerned
might
about
fly
catching
by.
up to the caravan. They don't move that fast.
Yeah, catching up shouldn't be too bad, and the caravan's been proceeding by you. It does take a good 15-20 minutes for the caravan to get past as they're sort of strung out. But yeah, you'll be an hour to an hour and a half behind the caravan by the time you get this fellow out. And then, are you leaving a giant pothole in the middle of the tradeway?
No.
No, but I don't have a lot of other than just hands and a couple of backpack tools. That
Well,
might
I'll
help.
get my shovel out and help try to split.
Okay.
I have.
I'm digging.
So an hour to an hour and a half pass. You get Carlin out, and then it sounds like you're responsible enough to make an effort to throw the dirt back in rather than have a horse fall in next time. And he's just sort of laying there on the ground, just big deep breaths. You can see all the bruising, all the twisting, that sort of stuff. He's in a rough shape. The good berries definitely helped, and he's not helpless now, but he's certainly hurt.
I'll throw a healing word at him.
That straightens out the vast majority of the trouble till it gets him to the point where he's up and standing.
I won't cast it in there. I'll just reduce a spell
Yep.
slot.
Yep. Again, thank you for your mercy. I know it's a little silly to ask, but where am I right now? And do you answer him honestly?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. They didn't take me too far afield. I know a place I can get to from here.
Well, good luck. We've got to catch up with our caravan.
Best of luck to you.
And he starts moving away to the south, the opposite direction of the caravan. He's sort of scrubbing at his head, and it doesn't budge at all. It is effectively tattooed in there now. Move to catch back up with the caravan?
Yep.
That's gonna suck for him.
Hey, I would switch back.
Okay.
I don't know if this will help, but and he's gonna go and take off his bonnet and give it to him. Maybe this might help. You got an oath breaker tattooed on your forehead there, sir.
And he sort of reaches out and takes the bonnet. He says that's very kind of you, and he sort of strips bits of it away, and you can see that he ties a little bit around his head and uses some to cover up some of the other wounds and bruises that he has, turning into more of a bandana than a bonnet.
Okay. It was a pretty bonnet, though. It looks good on you that way, too, I guess.
Man, I can't believe you gave up your bonnet, Chiquito.
It was. I only wore it for a little bit. It's not like it was. It was saving me from a sunburn or something.
Yeah,
We can find you another one.
I know. Whatever. I mean, it's not like it wasn't like I was inconspicuous. Everyone knew what I was. The bonnet wasn't helping.
Yeah, but it was a pretty bonnet.
I know, but I mean, if that guy don't have, I would hate for him to have that happen to him again. I mean, you saw people spitting at him. That wasn't too nice.
No, you're a good dude. That was the right play. Just gotta find you a new bonnet because
I know.
Gotta be bonnet.
I know I do need another pretty bonnet.
That's it. And as you start to head back and catch up with the caravan, you can see Yaz waving at you in the distance, indicating that she'll be joining you shortly. And if I could ask, for as the party makes their way back over that little bit of distance there, for a fateful D20. And in this case, low is better. Low is less eventful.
Oh.
13?
It was 13 no matter what.
Pair of 13s. That is higher than it is low. You rejoin the caravan without undue concern. As you're sort of catching up, the Samardag, sort of waves as you're coming back up. He says, "Oh, you were helping out that fellow. Well done. It's good to see another person getting a good turn."
Well, he was in the way.
We have a potato, yes.
Do have a potato.
Potato, yes.
I don't know.
I prefer to say potato.
A potato,
Let's
yes.
call this off before it even gets started.
Yes. Whatever you prefer.
There we
Let's go, though. Dang on.
So as the party catches back up, there was a head found in the middle of the road. It turned out to be attached to a body. They dug them out and have set him free, despite having the Oathbreaker label upon his head. As the party rejoins Yaz, Yaz, you weren't able to break away as easily between Las Felro and Samardag. You just, kept getting called to one job or another. But now you've had an opportunity to rejoin the group. Samardag, gives you the thumbs up. Well done. Good to see people getting another turn. Was he a cheerful person?
Seemed fine.
Good guy. What was going on with the
Lady
He's-
trouble?
Made
Oh.
some bad choices.
Said he made some bad choices. They seem
Well-
strange choices for somebody on the road.
Understandable.
Either
Understandable.
way, that's a fairly horrible way to die. I don't.
That I
Oh.
do agree with.
I'll
I had
see.
thought about offering him a less painful death, but Chiquito seemed to want to dig him out.
Sorry. I mean, he was okay. He walked away.
After your, that
It was
surprises me
a
after your trepidation at killing the cultists that we took out not long ago.
And I'm gonna
It
assume
was the
that was
Oathbreaker.
party voice. Samardag wasn't involved in that one, probably. But so that little distraction took place in the middle of a party huddle, and you now have the opportunity to continue your conversation if you so choose, or do anything else. It's now about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Some folks have broken out, the meals to be eaten on the road, some of the leftovers from the night before, some fresh stuff. One of the carts that sells a good bit of beer to the folks that are traveling has broken out their taps and are gesturing for folks to come over and fill up. Of course, you get charged for that, but the expenses are covered by the folks that have hired you on.
Well, when we were all talking earlier, we were gathering all the intel we all found.
Mhm.
But we didn't have Yaz with us, so maybe we ought to go see if she's still with Captain Sadsack.
Is there?
And the vengeful chili.
Yes. I mean, that chili seemed like unkind to him.
And I think I may have an idiom. What is gold on your head?
Gold on your head? Yeah, that isn't. That's like a. Man, I can't remember my language class whether or not that's technically an idiom or not. But what it means is that people have said that they will pay gold if they bring you your head. Now, the rest of your body might come with it if you're alive, or, for expediency's sake, like you were asserting with our friend in the road there. I mean, we could have done it there in the road, but you take his head and then you could turn it in for gold. So what we're hearing is that somebody's willing to pay for our heads.
Right. And
Dead or
actually,
alive.
even more so, he suggested that maybe they might get protection. So, I don't know. He said he promised me he wasn't going to do it. I don't know if I trust him, but definitely we might need to keep an eye out of who we trust on this caravan.
That's true.
I'm not sure, like, how long till we get to where we're going? We got how many more days?
So you've
There was a suggestion that it might be as far as Waterdeep.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm just going to be a little less cheerful about training these birds to sing. I mean, now that I know that somebody might be wanting to kill me, it sort of takes a little bit of the flutter out of my step.
Maybe you could teach them a dirge.
Yeah, I don't know if people are going to want to buy a bird that, like, sings, like, songs like, love will tear us apart. again. You know, like people don't want that out of a bird. I mean, some people do, but they're typically bards and they don't need a bird. You know.
Well, the elves are known for singing songs that are melodious and sad and always about losing something. Those are pleasant songs.
Yes.
Hey, yes.
Hey, guys, how you doing?
Oh, hello. Yes, I am here. What's
Sorry.
going on, guys?
That thing.
That's awesome. We were just talking about going to find you, and you just showed up. That's awesome.
Ain't that crazy how that works out? You know,
It's amazing. Yeah.
time flies when you have discussion.
How long have we been standing here?
Oh, damn it, we gotta go catch up the caravan again.
Oh, we have chewed too much fat.
yeah, I feel it. I'm gonna have to do like a plank or something.
But yeah,
I missed out on the fat. Oh,
we have.
Well-
You have fat, right? That you want to share?
who, me?
Yes, you.
I do.
Well,
No,
I hope
was hoping to hear
so.
what fat you had to share.
Well, I already heard what Chiquito had to share, which was the gold on the head, and
Oh, yeah, people hunting for us.
yes,
Yeah, and actually,
Not
they had a
good.
picture of me.
Oh, like the one that I found of me?
Yeah, but here,
Me?
like someone on the caravan had it.
Oh.
so
Well, that seems kind of silly because you're easy to see.
I know. Maybe, yeah.
I wouldn't think they would need the pictures.
Yeah,
Of
that's a fair
course.
point.
Maybe they wouldn't believe it if they didn't see it. I don't know. Well, how would you describe me to someone without showing a picture? Like, well,
Oh.
how? Looking at me right now, how would you describe me, Show?
How would
I
I
tried that
describe
before
you?
for disguises, and it resulted in you doing the you version of crying. I don't think I want to describe you.
It's
What?
a person
I was crying.
with-
Why you bring that up?
made with a metal plate over his face and tiny little eyes.
That's a very good description of me. I guess I don't need a picture. I could picture myself right now, and I didn't. Yep.
the point of a
It stands out a
picture.
bit.
I mean, seriously,
Yeah.
that was a word painting that just happened there. I felt like I was in the story.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm seeing you for the first time.
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
seeing you through
please,
Show's
no.
eyes.
They're much bigger than his.
Yeah.
True.
I've always wanted to know the sensation of winking. All I could do is put my hand over my eye.
Well, see, if you're gonna
So-
wink, though, you gotta do it fast. You gotta be like, yeah. All right, now we know that.
Don't hurt yourself.
It was close.
Yeah.
Here, let me
Another
try.
subtle sign.
Oh, thank you. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're
Okay.
just gonna.
Wow, it's not all it's cracked up to be.
So I haven't learned anything all that terribly fascinating, but the guy I'm working for, Oin, like he got into, I don't know. I mean, there's no tavern, but it seems like he got into a tavern-like fight, like a beer cart fight, if that's a thing.
Mhm.
And he said that it's a little bit more rough and tumble here than he's used to. The wagon, the wagon masters, they I'm sorry, his I misread my story here. He got knocked. The guy he got into a fight with, his friends knocked him down, and they were so like grim with him that Oin had to tell them to let him go, so that we wouldn't make an issue of it to the caravan master. He says it's a little too chaotic for him. And he likes to talk. I mean, the guy doesn't shut up. Really, he's got an opinion on everything, one way or the other. You don't know which way you're gonna go with him. But yeah, he said it's a little different than normal. I mean, this is only my second time working any kind of guard duty on a wagon train, so I don't know. Are we anywhere near the beer?
When I hear the music,
You're-
it's making me want to practice my footwork.
You're always near the beer. So the beer is just a few carts up. So a quick jog could attain some beer for you.
All right. Well, if we're gonna keep talking, I'm gonna get a beer.
Fair enough.
I'll go run up and buy a beer.
Oh, Gaz, you've been talking to that man for quite some time.
Last Favreau. That one?
Password, yes.
Yeah. Not gonna lie. Pretty weird. Sorry, I know, very vague. But like, whenever I don't know what, it's like whenever his butt hits a chair or a log, whenever his butt hits something, he becomes depressed. The only words I've ever been able to get out of him while he was sitting down is like self-doubt. Like, I don't know why I'm doing this. Just, that's the only thing I got, just self-doubt. And then whenever I tried to ask him about it, it's like he doesn't even remember he had self-doubt. Then he stands up and he's like, "Oh, hey, ha, hoo, I'm Lasfaro," and then he sits back down and he's So I really don't know what's going on with him.
That would be infuriating.
Part of me is so glad lizard folk cannot feel emotions the way that the mammalians do, because that would be designated as infuriating. So yeah, that happened. He depressed when he sits. He's questioning himself and what he is doing. And then he stands up and he is happy.
Doesn't really cover it, but have you ever seen somebody who's been charmed or enchanted?
No, I cannot. I do not believe I have.
Well, if you grow up in a community that has magic users as a norm, when you're small and people are starting to come into their magic, people who can charm you and make you do things will make you do things if you're not strong enough to keep them from doing it.
My father knows many spells of charming.
Your father?
Yes.
Is he a wizard?
No, he is a skald. He's a war chanter.
I didn't know that war chanting was possible. That sounds.
It's not dissimilar from what Rob does. He uses musical magic.
I like that. That might be a song.
And Anrin,
magic.
the elven blade singers would probably be what would come to mind based on the description that I'm hearing here. So that would probably be the thing that you would key, not quite right, but probably the thing that you would want to aim towards.
Yeah. So people can use words in magic to make people do things. And so I am thrilled to learn that your people have something that your father is a warrior of such renown and grace.
We are not all so simple as I.
Don't think that you're simple at all.
I have one thing that I do quite well, and it involves hitting things.
Oh, you're real good at that.
My father
Do
has
it
many
fair.
skills.
Well, I think you have skill at other things,
I
such
take
as
after my mother more than my father.
what does she do?
She is the let me think, the Babasalia of our tribe, protector.
You. That makes sense.
And I hope to be someday too.
I think you are well on your way.
Oh,
That is why I must prove myself.
well, we're not going to prove a whole lot standing here, especially if people are wanting to put money on our heads or give our heads for money. And they're interested in our porcelain. Or us.
Yeah,
Or both.
I think that's weird. Like, does nobody else think that's weird that they're into porcelain?
People keep like snooping around our porcelain.
It stands out. It's different than all the other carts.
I guess,
met-
but like,
And
what do
kind of
need
as
it
you
for?
as you say that, you sort of look ahead where Samardog is driving along the cart. You see the cart just rise just a little bit on one of those ruts, and as it comes down, you just hear that sound as lots and lots of china and porcelain just slide just a little bit, and everybody nearby just sort of freezes for a moment to hear if that cracking sound happens, but it didn't happen this time.
Oh man,
That is why they are interested.
cracking.
Probably Chiquito's friend is taking bets on when it breaks.
Well, we already know that we are on the lookout for cultists, and we spent a lot of time and energy looking for cultists, and I would be very surprised if they weren't doing the same thing for us. So my guess is that we're compromised.
I think they
Oh,
don't have to look as hard as we do.
And on that note, you've got a stretch of about another 4 to 5 days going through the Troll Claws and then on to the next major town, which will be Dragonspear. Along the way, each night you're stopping at rest areas. If you're lucky, you're close enough to be stopping in one of the taverns. If not so much, doing a little bit of sleeping out in the wild or in some of the small hut-style rest areas that are set up, staying fairly closely packed together during those nights. Over the next 4 to 5 days and nights, what would you all like to do to accomplish that? So we're moving into another one of those skill check rounds where I'll ask you each to come up with some idea of what you're doing, or if you have more questions about things leading into this that you want to pursue immediately, let me know. But as the next bit of the conversation goes, start to formulate ideas about a skill set that you might want to use over the next 4 to 5 days to pursue whatever goals or ends you'd like to achieve.
As I've said, I'm bored. I like talking to the dwarf. And I want to see if I can annoy somebody enough to actually blow their cover. Because I think that they are trying very hard to pretend that they don't know that we are us. Whoever they are. So do you think I can be annoying?
Give it a try.
Huh? Do
What's
you?
an
Do
annoying-
you
Me
think
to
you
answer,
can?
you want me to answer your question? I don't want.
This feels like a trap. Honestly,
I don't know. You're amazing. Don't hurt me.
I don't
No,
want to say
try
no,
I
your
like
hardest.
you.
I want to, but like I also feel like it's kind of an insult, like, and I don't.
I believe that you can put your mind to it.
I was about to say, if you put your mind to it, you can be annoying.
Good. I will put my mind to it. So the skill I am going to practice being as annoying as my sister.
Okay.
That should be fun.
And I'm gonna walk up to Anrin and I'm gonna put my hand on her forehead and I'm gonna say, "Boop."
Okay.
I am boop.
Oh,
All right.
Okay, so we've got some annoying. You did identify some folks that you suspected to be cultists. You had a pretty good feel about them, and you also have had some people approach you, letting you know that there were cultists about. Are you targeting anyone in particular for the annoying, or are you going to try and annoy like straight down the line? Just start at the front and annoy each one till one of them breaks. What's the targeting that you're doing?
Well, assuming that the cultists have actually been talking about dragons, the first tactic I'm going to use is not to be totally annoying. I am going to go over and talk to the horses. Something I've been doing all along.
Okay.
So that's the first step, is talking to the horses.
Sounds good.
So I'm going to go ahead and use talking with animals.
Okay, hang on. Before we get into it, I want to kind of line up what everybody's going to be doing because this will be a
sorry.
multi-day kind of effort. But you're trying to figure out who to target by giving a little chat to the horses, and then kind of try and pick